it's Sean here, the Sentinel. So we just concluded, well, not just, a few hours ago. I needed some sleep. Our unofficial state championship for Australia. So what happened is every state in Australia had their own open event. I came third in that, so I got my invite to the Australian Championship, where we played with 32 other people, 31 other people, got the top cut, and won that. So I won the entire event. So my ranking was third in the Queensland states and first place in Swiss in the main event. And then I, of course, talk it out. I lost one in both. So I was X5, 5X, 5X, 6 rounds in both. So 14 rounds in total. So I'd say I did not too shabby. I want to get into this profile. Let you guys know. So I played the deck I am known for. If anyone thought I would play anything other than this, then they have issues. This is my list. So it was on Dueling Book, so I'm just going to show you guys the cards through Dueling Book, because hey, it's pretty easy and straightforward. The deck list honestly is like, it makes sense if you think about it. It's just good cards, right? Like, I'm playing, Mekk-knight. Like, there's no weird tech other than Token Collector, Nearest Fusion, which isn't even that weird anymore. It's pretty standard in this deck, or like a lot of going second decks that could do it. I guess not everyone plays, Nibiru and Phantasma in the main. I'm sure a lot of people play like Impermanence in the main. I don't. But no, this is like 90% of this deck, 98% I would keep if I did this event again. It was just only the evenly matches in the side I'd change to Lightning Storms. But I'm gonna get into explaining what's good in this deck, what's and like obviously the best cards I should say, and start with is the Token Collector. I never thought I'd see the day where I went, Token Collector's a good. I mean, when Token Collector first came out, I thought this is a good card because Scapegoat was like at 2, everyone was playing it, that was the shit. And then they just limited Scapegoat and like banned all these other token cards. So I'm like, well, this card's not relevant anymore. And then Kanai printed Needle Fiber in the TCG, and then they printed a Link 1 that made 2 tokens, and then they've made a Link 3 that makes 3 tokens, and it's like, fantastic, this is good. And this is really good for me too, because it's the reason why I play this over Impermanence is this stops the combo. Impermanence might stop the combo. And with this deck, you have to make every card as impactful as possible, right? I mean, that goes with every deck, I guess. But when you're versing using a rogue strat, you have to make those impacts. And Imperm might doing it, DK Crew might doing it. This does it. And the reason why this does it is on the summon of Link 3, destroy, remove all their tokens, protect you from the Bureau. Generally speaking, they'll like send either the Despot to grave, just send this to grave, just so they remove monsters from the field. But either way, their VFD isn't being summoned, their Savage isn't being summoned, their Herald isn't being summoned. That's 2 negates or like VFD, which you can just say is the ultimate no, right? It's like, that's a lot. So you're only dealing with the other half of the deck, which is usually Golden Lord, right? So you only have to deal with Golden Lord, and that's it's a lot easier to deal with just one with Golden Lord. Just like it's a lot easier to deal with just Mekk-knights or just Invoked compared to the 2 of them together. So you're turning off like the entire engine. This is an MVP of the day. It also does protect you from being Nibiru. Also, you can summon off of Nibiru, which I did do several times. I think the best moment was actually game 1, round 1 of Queensland State versing Salads. 5th summon Sunlight Wolf, Phantasma in hand, Nibiru on hand, activate Phantasma, chain Nibiru, summon both of them, make token, top deck Token Collector, activate Token Collector. That was truly a good day. In terms of Ash, self-explanatory. It's you want to see it. It stops Sanguine. It stops everything. You want to see it. You want to see multiples of it because you can activate during their turn, your turn, which is good. Phantasma Everyone's link summoning again, and usually without putting up a negate, except for of course Emancipators. But in general, you know, Phantasma is really good. It adds so much consistency to this deck and any deck that runs it. And this deck does have that consistency issue, so Phantasma really helps. Nibiru says no. Nibiru says no. Like, the only deck it's not good against is Emancipators. Unless you resolve Nibiru anyway, because, you know, you ashed their Needlefiber and they negated it, and so you activate Nibiru and you wipe their board. Other than that, it's dead against the deck. But every other deck in Nibiru is pretty alive. Obviously, control decks aren't in the format right now, and that's the thing about this deck is, if it's a control format, you take like Nibiru out, Token Elector out. Like, this deck will always survive, you know, as rogue strat, because it can slide in 12 cards or more sometimes. You know, like Phantasma, Nibiru, Cosmics, Nearest Fusion, Token Collector, all those cards can be swapped out for something else, right? They don't have to be there. They can be another card, a better card for the format. And this means, like, basically half the deck is tech, right? And that's what matters. And, you know, that's what's important. So yeah, Nearest Fusion package. Amazing, beautiful card. This deck, right, is no longer Mekk-knight Invoked. It's bait, Nearest Fusion. It honestly is. It feels weird saying that, but the Invoked engine is so powerful that your opponent has to negate it. The Mekk-knight engine is so powerful your opponent has to negate it. And once they've done all negating it, you just activate Vertex Anaconda effect, send Nearest Fusion, game. Like, that's the, like, I summoned this guy so often. I summoned him when I didn't even think it was necessary. Like, but I learned a lot how to summon him, because, like, I only put him in the deck maybe like 2-3 weeks before states happened. So, like, I was really learning how to use him, you know, the best way, you know, how to play around everything. But, you know, I learned pretty quickly. You know, there are times when I made him main phase 2 just so I can shuffle that graveyard away, because I didn't want him getting destroyed or anything. It was just really powerful card. So yeah, this is the main deck. The extra deck, nothing here I would change. Nothing. Oh, missed 2 cards. Secrets is, you know, the going first strat. And when you're going first, you open 2 Mekk-knights, you have secrets. Secrets can bring back a Mekk-knight to do negating. You can bring back a Macabre to do negating. Bring back a Rajan to do negating. Book of Lore is just, it's weird. I go take it in and out, but right now it's just good with Rajan being live a lot. You know, Book of Lore being live. You know, and then of course, you know, the link to adding it so it's live. I just think it's worth. 2 desires is correct. I know 3 desires is mathematically correct, but 2 desires is correct. Anyway, onto the extra. Everything here is perfect. So funny story. In 12 rounds of Yu-Gi-Oh! Versus some of the best players in Australia and Queensland, you know, everyone going for it, I summoned all of these except for Kaliga. You know, well, within reason. Like, Kaliga I did summon multiple times, but I summoned it for Link Fodder, which could have been a Macabre, a Rajan, or a Purgatory. I just summoned it because it was dead. I summoned this card because it was so dead all the time. And I was actually going, after this tournament, I'm taking it out, I never put it back in. And then game 3 in the semi-finals. So yeah, like, no, the 13th round of Yu-Gi-Oh! I summoned this against Emancipator because I had a Phantasma in hand, I had an Alistair in grave. I decided to go first, I believe. Just didn't open any of my floodgates, even Desired, just didn't see anything. So I just summoned Kaliga, passed, and I won. Like, I won. There's just no if, no buts, I won. So yeah, that was, like, I was really thinking, oh, do I make, you know, Macabre, or what do I do? It's like, no, just Kaliga. That's why it's there. So that's why it's there, and it does its job. BLS I didn't summon very often either, but it comes up, like, that's the thing. This deck is a toolbox. Like, all these cards deal with a problem, right? So they're all there for a reason. You know, just sometimes, you know, it doesn't come up very often, but it's important, because, like, there's nothing else really I could put in there that would replace, you know, a floodgate, one of the best floodgates in the game, right? So yeah, again, amazing card. Just I wish you could send Invocation off of it, but you can't. You know, three Macabre is just correct because you know the grind game. You know, it just comes up too often. I think you be thinking like it doesn't come up a lot, but it does come up where you need that third one. One Purg is fine because you know just summon Purg. That's all you need. You don't need to do it twice because like Rainbow Neos as well. And that's another thing that Rainbow Neos adds to this deck is this deck had a really hard time getting past 3 or 4 turns because it just uses its resources. Rainbow Neos just adds another whole turn on its own. Like 3 cards in the main, right? It just adds an extra turn. So I can play for 5 turns instead of 4 turns. And like I didn't notice this for a while, but I'm grinding at the same speed as you know, Golden Lord, Eldritch, right? Like they're only beating me like a turn, and it's like, how many turns has it been? How have I survived this long? It's like because I'm making Rainbow Neos, and that just puts so much pressure on the board that I've survived another turn than I should have. Like I still have those resources that I shouldn't have had because of Rainbow Neos, I should say. So yeah, this card just adds so much to this deck. The rest is pretty standard, you know. I see some lists taking out Morningstar, but that going first combo with this. Maybe when Dragoons is out, I would take out Morningstar, but even then, the soft lock you can make with just Mekk-knights is just good. So I probably wouldn't do that. You know, time will tell. For the siding, I have a philosophy with this deck that I learnt, you know, about a year and a half ago. You need 9 cards for going first because you know that's you know what. 75%, 70% of your chance of seeing one of them. You don't need to see one of them yet generally. Like, normally this would be summon limit, but I think QLD Grove was just the correct choice, and I was right in this format. So those cards, you know, you see one, you make your Alistair, you're good, right? You make your Macabre. Because your opponent's going to make you go first a lot, or sometimes you just have to go first, you know? Like, if you're versing, like, Emancipator, you don't really want to try and break their board because your hand traps are dead against them. Unless you open Dark Ruler, it's really hard to deal with them. Whereas Deck Only 1 and Judgment and Call by the Grave, that does a lot. With a Macabre on the board, that does everything. So it's just going first is really important in the deck after you've sided. And then for going second, you know, Dark Ruler no more. Like I only sided it against the games against Rock. Because they're the only decks that I was versing that made those unbreakable boards. But there are other decks out there that, you know, this works too. Like I said at the start of the video, evenly matched should have been Lightning Storms. I was scared of Sky Striker, and that's why they're there, just for Sky Striker. But I just didn't verse any, and I think Lightning Storm would have just done the job anyway. Judgment is just incredible card. Thank you for putting up to 3, Konami. It would have been Strike instead, and Judgment's just so much better. I see like Red Reboot as well, and yeah, I agree with that. If it was at 2 or 3, at 1, it's just, unless it's in my opening hand, like sure, a turn or 2 later it might be okay, but I just don't think it's okay enough for it to be justifiable at 1. Like if you have just 1 slot because you're playing 2, you know, something that's at 2, or you know the Artifact, Sanctum combo plus Prankatops. Yeah, sure, last card can be Red Reboot, like, to fill in that spot. I get that, that's fine. But if you're putting in Red Reboot and then 2 other cards, I want to make that 2 other cards at 3, you know? Like, it's just, you want to see them. When people play cards at 2, it's either desires or there's no real logic between it. Like, you either want to see it or you don't want to see it. Pick one. So, yeah, this is my deck profile. So I am the winner of the Australian State Championship, 3rd place for the Queensland State Championship. Yeah, I'll see you guys next time.